Hello students, in this class we will see the next part, that is Bohr's atomic model. Okay, in the last class we had discussed about Rutherford atomic model, and there we had seen that few drawbacks are there. That means Rutherford could not explain about the stability of atom, and Rutherford could not explain about the line spectrum present in atom. Okay. So to modify that Rutherford's atomic model, here a new atomic model, that is Bohr's atomic model, and here Bohr properly defined the orbits in which the electrons can revolve. Okay, Rutherford told that electrons can revolve in any orbit around the nucleus. Okay, but here Bohr is telling that electrons cannot revolve in any orbit. Electrons can revolve only in a particular orbit. Okay. So first one is electrons revolve around the nucleus in a particular orbits. Okay, and these orbits are known as stationary orbits. Okay, so in the first postulate, Rutherford told qualitatively about the stationary orbits. Okay, about the orbits in which if the electrons rotate around the nucleus, then there will be no electromagnetic radiation. Okay. In the second postulate, Rutherford explained those stationary orbits quantitatively. That means he gave one formula for these stationary orbits. So Rutherford told that electrons can revolve only in those stationary orbits where angular momentum means mvr. R is the distance of that nucleus, distance of the electron from the center of nucleus. So angular momentum will be integral multiple of h by 2 pi, where n is 1, 2, 3, 4 ... Okay, that means angular momentum will be quantized. Okay, no fraction value you can take either 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 in this way. So no fraction value of n you can take. So these n values are called principal quantum number. Okay. So here in the second postulate, Bohr told about the quantization of angular momentum. Okay, and after that you can tell about the quantization of orbits. So these these postulates are very important. Here second postulate is the electrons can revolve around the nucleus in those stationary orbits for which the angular momentum of electron in here equal to integral multiple of h by 2 pi, where n is these values and h is the Planck's constant. Okay, and third postulate, he told about the radiation, okay, or emission spectrum. Okay, so whenever electrons are revolving in those stationary orbits, there will be no electromagnetic radiation. That means we will not get any spectrum. But if the electrons migrate from an stationary orbit of higher energy level to the stationary orbit at lower energy level, then what will happen? There you will get some energy difference. Okay, and that energy difference will convert into a photon. Okay, so if an electron migrates from higher energy stationary orbit stationary orbit to lower energy stationary orbit, then we will get radiation. Whose frequency will be E equal to h nu, delta E equal to h nu, and that delta E equal to EI minus EF. Okay, from this relation we can find the frequency of that emitted radiation. EI is the energy in the initial state, okay, from which orbit it is coming, and EF is the energy in the final state to which orbit the electron is going. So these are the three Bohr's postulate. Okay, here we can easily see that all the quantities, angular momentum, after that I will derive something, that is radius of the Bohr's orbit, then velocity of electrons, all the quantities are quantized. Okay, so here angular momentum is this. Sometime in exam you can get this type of question: find the angular momentum of electron in second Bohr orbit. Okay, so this is a simple formula you will use. Okay, to find the angular momentum of an electron in second Bohr orbit, this simple formula you will use. Then you will put n equal to 2. Second Bohr orbit, n equal to 2. Suppose you are asked to find the angular momentum of electron present in third Bohr orbit, then n equal to 3. Okay, so in this way these are the short questions. Okay, sometimes they give write the postulate related to quantized angular momentum, then you will write this postulate only. Okay, write the postulate, write the Bohr's postulate related to the emission of photon, you will write this postulate. Okay, so this type of question comes sometimes. So I am erasing this part. Now come to the formula for derivation, formula for radius. Okay, here we do not require the derivation, but I am showing a little bit for radius part only. Okay, we have to remember the formula. From the formula, this type of question you can get: find the radius, okay, of second stationary orbit of Bohr's atom. Okay, or you can get find the ratio of radius of third and fourth Bohr's orbit. Okay, so this type of question you can get. And here basically we will discuss about hydrogen and hydrogen-like atom. Bohr's atomic model is basically for hydrogen and hydrogen-like atom. Okay, so radius. Okay, for deriving this radius of Bohr's orbit, there are two equations. One is that we are getting from second postulate, mvn Rn equal to nh by 2 pi. Vn means velocity in nth orbit, Rn is radius of nth orbit. Okay, and another formula is electrons are rotating around the nucleus in some circular path. Okay, electrons are rotating in a circular path. So along this we will get some centripetal force. Okay, and that centripetal force is provided by Coulomb's attraction here. So centripetal force m Vn square by Rn equal to Coulomb's attraction, that means 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 E. Okay, Jd, here nucleus means Jd and its charge of electron is E. In force we do not put the positive negative sign, because here positive negative sign tells about only the direction. Okay, so Z E square by Rn square. Okay, so I am not deriving all the things, that is not required. So using these two equations we can derive the radius for Bohr's atomic model, and here we get this relation Rn equal to A0 n square by Z. Okay, so this is the relation that we can get from deriving these two equations. So this one we have to keep in mind. Okay, here A0 is what? A0 is radius of first Bohr orbit in hydrogen atom. Okay, and its value is 5.29 nanometer. Okay, so the exact relation becomes like this: Rn equal to 5.29 n square by z nanometer. Okay, clear? Here n is that principal quantum number, n equal to 1 2 3 dot dot dot, and z is atomic number. Z is atomic number. If it is hydrogen, for hydrogen z equal to 1. Okay, for other atoms z will have some value. For lithium 2 plus is also a hydrogen like atom. Hydrogen like atom means hydrogen has only one electron, so lithium 2 plus will also have one electron. So hydrogen like atom means basically in that atom you will get only one electron. So lithium 2 plus z equal to 3. Okay, so this is the simple formula, Rn 5.29 n square by z. Okay, when ratio type question comes, then you will use only this. Rn is directly proportional to n square. Okay, all the four things are coming from this. You can remember this or this. Okay, here 5.29 is the A0. Clear? So this is the radius, and here look, if n increases, then r also increases. Okay, and it becomes more larger radius when we are going away from the nucleus. Okay, that means it will look like this. Suppose this is the nucleus plus charge. First radius like this, second radius bigger, third radius more bigger, fourth radius more bigger. Okay, that means this separation will go on increasing. Okay, this separation will go on increasing. Clear? So this is the radius. Now come to velocity. So students, now come to velocity of electrons in the stationary orbits. Okay, so here we can derive the velocity from this relation, mvnrn equal to nh by 2 pi. Okay, then you will get vn equal to nh by 2 pi m rn. Okay, clear? After that, if we put rn equal to n square by z a0, then you will get like this: n h by 2 pi m n square by z into a0. a0 is constant. Okay, so then 1n here, 1n cancel out, z will go up, so you will get basically z by n into a constant. Okay, other terms are constant, a0 constant, 2 pi n h all are constant. So we are getting vn like this. Okay, this constant is what? This constant is the velocity of electron in first Bohr's orbit. Okay, and its formula will be then Vn equal to z by n into 2.19 into 10 to the power 6 meter per second. Okay, so Vn equal to z by n into 2.1 10 to the power 6 meter per second. What is this? This is velocity of electron in first Bohr orbit. So here velocity is inversely proportional to the n. So when we will go away from the nucleus, the velocity of electron will go on decreasing. Okay, and it is directly proportional to the z. As atomic number will increase, Vn will increase. Clear? So this is the simple relation you have to keep in mind for Vn. Vn equal to Z by N and Rn equal to N square by Z A0, where A0 equal to 5.29 nanometer. Clear? Clear? So students, now come to the total energy of electrons revolving in the stationary orbits. Total energy. Total energy means that electron is rotating, moving, that means kinetic energy you will get, and that electron is in the field of positive charge nucleus, that means you will get some potential energy also. Okay, so here total energy E means equal to kinetic plus potential. Okay, so if you add these two value, you will get minus 13.6 Z square by N square electron volt. Okay, total energy will look like this, minus 13.6 Z square by N square electron volt. Z is atomic number, and N is principal quantum number. Okay, principal quantum number. So here, if E equal to this much, what will be K and V? Okay, here you will remember E equal to this much. Okay, so for hydrogen atom you will put Z equal to 1. Okay, and for hydrogen atom you will get only one orbit because only one electron is there. So total energy will be minus 13.6 electron volt. This is the total energy of electron present in hydrogen atom. So what will be the kinetic energy and potential energy? Okay. So the kinetic energy, it is always positive, half mv square, that means always positive. So you will get kinetic energy is equal to minus E. Okay, kinetic energy is simply equal to negative of E. Negative of E means positive you will get, and the potential energy you will get, that will be 2E. Okay, potential energy is always greater than the kinetic energy in magnitude. Potential energy is always greater than the kinetic energy. Okay, and if you add them, you will get this value. Clear? So these are the two relations. Suppose you are given that the total energy of atom present in hydrogen atom is this much. So what will be the kinetic energy of that electron? Kinetic energy will be minus E, that means 13.6 electron volt, and potential energy will be 2E. 2E means minus how much? 2 into this, 2 into 13.6 electron volt, that means you will get 27.2 electron volt. So the total energy will be negative. Total energy is negative. What is the significance of this negative sign? So total energy is negative. That means that total energy is negative means that the electron is revolving under attractive force. What is that attractive force? Coulomb force. Coulomb's attractive force. Okay, so the total energy is negative means that charge electron is revolving under Coulomb's attractive force. Whenever any object revolves under any attractive force, then we will get total energy negative. Okay, total energy negative. So if we want to remove that electron, only one electron is present in hydrogen. So if we want to remove that electron, okay, and we want to send that electron to infinity, okay, then we have to apply some amount of energy, okay, because it is under attractive force, okay. So to take it in the opposite direction of attraction, we have to apply some amount of force, okay. So if we apply a particular amount of force and the electron goes out, then what will happen? We will get ion, okay, electron goes out, so we will get hydrogen ion H plus, Okay, that means that amount of energy, that minimum amount of energy required to convert any atom into its ion is called ionization energy. Okay, ionization energy. So what is ionization energy? It is the minimum energy. It is the minimum energy required to convert an atom into its ion is called ionization energy. In hydrogen atom and in hydrogen like atom, there is only one electron. Okay, so we will send only that electron, and that electron will be present at n equal to 1 level. Okay, n equal to 1 level is called n equal to 1. This level is known as ground level. Okay, other levels n equal to 2, 3, 4, 5 dot dot dot, these all levels are called excited states. Okay, clear? So when we are taking hydrogen and a hydrogen like atom, that means that only one electron will be present in the ground level, and we have to take that electron out and send to infinity from that ground level. Okay, so we have to apply that amount of energy. So what will be the ionization energy for hydrogen atom? For hydrogen atom, that electron will have energy minus 13.6 electron volt. So what will be the ionization energy? So ionization energy for hydrogen atom. For hydrogen atom, what will be the ionization energy? Final energy minus initial energy. We are sending that electron to infinity. So n equal to infinity. N equal to infinity means it is going out from the attractive Coulomb force. So n equal to infinity means 0. Okay. So final energy is 0 minus initial energy minus 13.6 electron volt. Okay, so we will get 13.6 electron. So for hydrogen atom, the ionization energy is 13.6 electron volt. This is the ionization energy. Now another term is there, that is ionization potential. So I am just erasing here ionization potential. Ionization potential. Ionization potential definition will be same, only in place of energy put potential. It is the minimum potential. Which kind of potential? Positive potential. Okay. So it is the minimum positive potential required to convert an electron into ion. Minimum positive potential. Okay. Required to convert an atom into its ion is called ionization potential. Okay, and then for hydrogen atom, this is energy to convert it into potential, divide by E, charge of electron, you will get 13.6 volt. So what is the ionization potential of hydrogen atom? That is 13.6 volt. Okay, so this is basically about the total energy and ionization energy and ionization potential. These two definitions are also very important. One is ionization energy and potential, and this energy formula is very important. This energy formula is very important. Its unit is electron volt. Okay, this is very important. Sometimes question comes, find the total energy of electrons present in second Bohr orbit or fast excited state. Okay, different terms. Okay, you have to understand these terms. Fast excited state means this one, n equal to 2. N equal to 1 is always ground level. Fast excited state means n equal to 2. Second excited state means n equal to 3. Okay, then find the total energy of electron in fast excited state. So we will put n equal to 2. Okay, then you are asked, suppose find the total energy of electron in the fast excited state, and then find the kinetic and potential energy for that electron. So kinetic energy will be simply kinetic energy will be simply minus E and potential energy will be 2E. Potential energy will have negative sign. Kinetic energy will always have positive sign. Kinetic energy is minus E and potential energy will be 2E. Okay, so in this way you have to understand the terms also. Okay, fast excited state, ground level, okay, these terms. So, and if it is not hydrogen atom but hydrogen like atom, suppose lithium 2 plus, then you will put Z equal to 3. Okay, so but most of the time question comes for hydrogen atom. Okay, but remember in this way, if it comes for hydrogen like, then you will put Z equal to that particular value. Clear? So next we will see that spectrum. Okay, that means energy level and origin of spectrum or origin of emitted radiation. Clear?